Hey, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a great day so far. It is Friday, the 10th of September today. This is at the Coalface Live with me, Jason Greenwood. It's awesome to be back with you again live today, as I am every single Friday at 4 p.m. New Zealand time, 2 p.m. Australian time. So awesome to be here with you again. As per usual, it will be me running through the week's news that I feel is noteworthy and interesting, and I'll talk a little bit about that. I'll give you some of my insights and my thoughts, and at the end, as per usual, again, we'll leave that as kind of an Ask Me Anything in an interactive session where I'll come back to any of the comments, any of the questions, any of the thoughts that you've dropped in the live streams on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or on YouTube, and then we can have a little bit of a banter and a discussion back and forth about that. Probably noticing something a little bit different today, which is this awesome Yeticaster microphone. So hopefully the audio will be even better than using my typical laptop mic, which is what I historically have used for my live sessions. So hopefully the audio will be even better. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me better. Hopefully just the sound quality, less noise, etc., etc. So hopefully that will just be better for everyone. So if you have any questions about any of the topics that I talk about today, feel free to drop them in the thread. Most of you will be probably following along from LinkedIn, so feel free to drop that in there, and I will come back to that at the end. It is absolutely blowing a gale today here in Auckland, and it is really hosing down with rain as well. So hopefully the noise won't be too bad, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me okay, and hopefully my dog will be quiet in the background as well, because he likes to get a little bit rowdy at times when he hears crazy noises outside. So anyways, without further ado, I'll crack on with the news of the week and get back to your comments in a moment. So probably the biggest news, well, undoubtedly the biggest news, which has actually just come out today, is that Amazon is planning to release its own homegrown and in-house developed point of sale system, or POS system. And apparently this point of sale system will allow merchants to tap into Prime benefits as part of any loyalty programs that they want to extend to their customers. And when we look at this in conjunction with the Selz acquisition, and that's spelled S-E-L-Z, in February, this could absolutely be become a Shopify competitor, and clearly that is what Amazon has in mind. They reportedly have an internal team at Amazon, which the whole reason for this team strategically is to figure out how they can compete with Shopify, how they can bring more challenge and more power to their competition with Shopify. And Shopify is in many instances doing something quite similar, in that there's been many rumors swirling for a long time that they would come out with a marketplace of their own, a marketplace of Shopify retailers, and put that into a marketplace that could compete with Amazon. However, they haven't done that yet, and we don't have any timelines on that, but rumors have definitely swirled for a long time around that. And so Amazon has clearly got a strategic plan about how to face the threat from Shopify head on, and the threat from merchants going directly to customers outside of the Amazon ecosystem head on. And the POS system is absolutely part of this. Now, one of the other things that comes into mind or comes into play here is the fact that when Amazon has POS systems with retailers, then they're going to have access to the physical retail sales data of these retailers that it can then use to tailor marketing, advertising, etc. on the Amazon.com website for those customers. So this is clearly a play by Amazon, not only to compete more directly with Shopify, who obviously has their own point of sale system as well, but it's their effort to get into physical retail and to start getting data on physical retail performance of specific retailers in specific regions, what products are performing well, what products are selling well in specific regions and specific areas, what price points they're selling at. There's just an absolute treasure trove of retail sales data, considering the fact that over 80%, well, around 80% of retail done worldwide is still done in physical brick and mortar stores through point of sale systems and not online. There is an absolute mountain of data that Amazon currently does not have access to. And basically, being a big data company as they are, they want access to that data. So no price points have been released. There has been no clear confirmation from Amazon of when this is going to be released, or when it's going to come out, or what the pricing is going to be. But clearly, Amazon has a plan to put together a package of retail technology when you combine their marketplace, the point of sale system, and an e-commerce platform itself. When Amazon starts to tie all those things together from a technical perspective, and perhaps even with their shipping technology, etc., it starts to become a pretty compelling offering for retailers that could be potentially at some point an almost turnkey operating system for businesses end to end. So obviously, if they can get the products from their own e-commerce platform or their own point of sale system and get those dynamically loaded directly into the Amazon marketplace, it makes onboarding merchants into the Amazon marketplace a lot more frictionless and a lot easier for merchants to take up that full package of Amazon offerings combined with Amazon's pay-per-click marketing on Amazon.com. So watch this space. Huge move by Amazon, and I suspect this to reverberate throughout the ecosystem through the following week as people start to get to grips with what this may mean for the wider e-commerce ecosystem and space, particularly amongst other vendors like Shopify. Another piece of news that came out today by Internet Retailing is that Facebook and EssilorLuxottica has unveiled their first smart glasses. So apparently this was launched on Thursday U.S. time, which is obviously Friday our time, which is basically today, in a step towards its aim of offering true augmented reality glasses at some point. So the glasses were a partnership between Facebook and Ray-Ban. EssilorLuxottica, which owns Ray-Ban, obviously was the partner developer of the product, and apparently it allows listeners to listen, or wearers to listen to music, take calls, capture photos, short videos, and then to share all of this across Facebook services using a dedicated companion app. And Facebook announced that the glasses will be called Ray-Ban Stories, and they will start at $299, which frankly is a pretty compelling price point when you consider the fact that any type of premium sunnies or anything like that, or any premium Ray-Ban or any competitor sunglasses will sit around that price point anyway. So effectively, you're getting some of the smarts of these smart glasses built in at what it sounds like is no extra charge. So Facebook must effectively be subsidizing this technology and subsidizing the retail sales of these glasses to help get the consumer more plugged into their ecosystem in that more seamless way. And so Facebook did announce last year that they were about 5 to 10 years away from being able to bring true augmented reality glasses to market, whereby they would be able to superimpose virtual objects over the wearer's viewpoint in the real world. And Mark Zuckerberg famously, and I talked about this, I think it was about a month ago when he announced this, that the company was setting up a team to work on building the metaverse, which is a shared virtual environment, which is it is betting will be the successor to the mobile internet. So I'm guessing that what he has in mind is something like the Star Trek holodeck. So we'll just have to, Mark is an interesting character in that he doesn't sometimes fully appreciate how some of the things he says in the media are perceived, and he's become probably one of the biggest memes on the internet because of some of the things he says in the way that he says them. But certainly from a tech perspective, he's an absolute genius, and so I expect whatever they do to be pretty successful. It's proven to be the case so far, particularly when we look at across their range of properties with WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. So be very interesting to see how well these glasses sell in comparison to, say, for example, Snap's spectacles, etc. Zuckerberg also said, "We believe for a long time that glasses are going to be an important part of building the next computing platform." And however, Facebook has, of course, been criticized over its handling of private user data and how that's been leaked out to companies that engage with Facebook for marketing. However, to try to quell these fears, particularly around these smart glasses, they've come out and they've said straight away, the company said it will not use the content of the photos or the videos captured using the glasses and stored in the Facebook View app for personalizing ads. And they said the glasses would be an ad-free experience. Well, thank God for that. The last thing we'd want before we start to shoot a picture or a video is to have to listen to an ad from Facebook before we can actually use the stupid glasses. So yeah, thanks, Mark, for making that clear. Now it says the glasses include an optional virtual assistant so that photos and videos can be captured hands-free through voice commands. Facebook says an LED light on the glasses would show when the camera is on to make other people aware when a wearer is taking a photo or video. And yet again, obviously privacy concerns come into play here. And when you're out in public, clearly by putting this LED light on the glasses, they want to make it clear to other people that are around the glasses wearers when that person is recording, so that at least if their privacy is being violated, they're going to be aware of it and can move out of frame or out of shot. The next piece of news, which came from Internet Retailing today, is that Browse brings interactable shopping carts to Zoom. Now, Browse, spelled B-R-A-U-Z, is a click and reserve, or a click and try retail tech platform. I've been aware of Browse for over 4 years now. I consider Lee Hardam, who's the CEO and founder of Browse, a professional friend. And in fact, I recently was able to record a session with him on our podcast. That episode has not been released yet. It gets released in a few weeks' time. But I had a really, really good discussion with Lee about Browse and where they are headed. Now, one of the things that they talked about is what this article brings up, which is that they have brought interactive shopping carts to Zoom. And what that means is that during lockdowns, for example, which we're still suffering under here in New Zealand and Australia, that Browse bridges the gap between the physical and the virtual experience, whereby using Zoom as the conduit and the pipe connecting the person at home, the customer at home, with an in-store sales assistant who can help them, talk to them, show them products, etc. They'll be able to add things to their virtual shopping cart inside the Zoom session, and there will actually be a little shopping basket at the bottom of the Zoom session, which when the customer taps that, for example, on the Zoom mobile app, that will trigger off the sending of a unique link to the customer via SMS, which then they can tap. That will open up their shopping cart on the merchant's website so that they can complete the transaction seamlessly, put in their payment details securely, and complete the transaction right then and there. So one of the reasons that Browse came out with this technology obviously was when the first lockdowns hit in Australia, their click to reserve in store, or their click to work with a consultant in store, where the customer would click, reserve the product, and then they would physically go into their local store and talk to a consultant about that product, try on the product, and potentially purchase it over the counter. Obviously, in lockdown, that can't happen. So Browse kind of pivoted to add in this virtual experience, this end-to-end virtual shopping experience over the top of Zoom, and so it's a pretty incredible piece of technology that they've developed over there, and the analytics that they provide behind the scenes to the merchants that use Browse around, which salespeople do the best job of helping customers to find what they need and to try things on and to drive sales and revenue and all those sorts of things, conversion rates, all that stuff. Browse brings a high level of consumer analytics and performance analytics to everything that happens on its platform to allow retailers to optimize that experience for the customer and for conversion. So amazing piece of technology. Really proud of Lee and how he's taken this business to the next level and really adapted to the challenging COVID environment that we all find ourselves in. So good job, Lee. And listen out for that podcast, because it is a cracker. So that will drop in a few weeks' time. Now, also another report from Power Retail came out, which discusses the fact that Chinese pure play fashion retailer Shein has become the leading shopping app on both Android and iOS. Now, I've spoken about Shein before. I've done a couple of posts on LinkedIn about them. I've talked about the fact that they are very secretive, that there's a lot of people trying to figure out how they operate, what their model looks like. Are they actually based in China? Do they actually own factories in China? Do they just do contract manufacturing in China? Are the owners actually Chinese, or are they based? I think the last thinking on this was that they're actually not based in China, that they're based in one of the Southeast Asian countries. So there's a lot of, I guess, the company in the business is shrouded in mystery. But what we do know is that they're insanely successful. And what this article calls out is that since October of 2020, Shein has been labeled as the world's largest pure play retailer, pushing past the likes of Amazon, Inditex, and H&M, which regardless of whether there's a little bit of, whether this is overestimated, whether the amount of volume and revenue that they're doing is being overestimated by the market, they're still an absolute beast of a player. You pretty much cannot go onto social media anywhere without seeing some influencer somewhere peddling Shein products and tagging Shein in their posts, whether that be on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere else. It is just, it's even bigger than some of the other major fast fashion brands that, like Fashion Nova, that have just taken over social media. They are just, in terms of their presence on social media, they're about 3 to 1, I think, even over Fashion Nova. So very interesting to keep an eye on these guys. They're doing some big things. And even if we don't know exactly how well they're performing, what we can do is we can learn a lot about the way that they market their product and how they work with influencers around the world to drive the success that they're having in their business. Now, what it calls out in this article is that the app has more than 17.5 million downloads and on Android and iOS. In comparison, Amazon it has approximately 7.6 million downloads, so less than, well under half the number of downloads of the Shein app. And they've been around as She Inside originally in 2008 as a wedding dress business. And in 2015, they pivoted into general women's wear and rebranded as Shein. And they are absolutely a fast fashion brand. And they have, of course, like most fast fashion brands, they have taken a bit of heat in the market for their ethics, their privacy, copying, famous designer pieces, as well as, of course, some challenges around sustainability and people being concerned about the entire fast fashion and almost disposable fashion industry, because Shein products are extremely cheap. And by all accounts, obviously the cheaper a product is, typically the less time it will last, and therefore it becomes more disposable as a result. And so they have copped a bit of flack about that as well. And in India, the app was banned due to privacy concerns. However, they're absolutely continuing to crush it in the market. And this article calls out the fact that they are very much a data-driven business. They rely on in-house algorithms that track and mine the web for the trendiest items of the moment. Then basically that data is sent to their design team, creating new pieces in near real time, which are uploaded to the site daily. In fact, as many 500 products are dropped on the site daily. Now, when we think about those kind of numbers, that is almost insane. Like it's that time to market is hard to fathom. It is hard for other smaller brands, smaller manufacturers that don't have this fast to market, fast development, almost real-time feedback loop from the market back to the brand. It's Zara and a few other brands have tried to copy this sort of model and trying to take, even brands that have a physical retail model are trying to adapt this model, whereby salespeople on the floor of physical stores are directing feedback around products that they're getting from customers in real time back to the mothership, so that it can inform either improvements to existing ranges or the building out and the design of brand new ranges of clothes. So look, we're getting closer and closer and closer to just-in-time design, just-in-time manufacturing, just-in-time fulfillment. However, what has put a massive spanner in the works around this model is, of course, COVID. And we have massive challenges around global supply chains. So although your feedback loop around design and customer feedback may be fast, being able to get something manufactured and shipped all around the world is becoming the real challenge here. Now, the one benefit, of course, of fashion is that it's small and light, and it can be compressed down into a small physical volumetric space. And as a result of that, fashion can oftentimes be sent via air freight internationally at a reasonably cost-effective price versus big, bulky, heavy items that must be shipped by sea freight. And of course, international logistics for sea freight right now are an absolute shambles. And so I am personally hearing already of many brands really struggling to even guarantee stock for Christmas, even ordering now. So global supply chain has massive challenges, but Shein has obviously found a way around that. I know that Walmart in the States, they're buying their own container ships so that they are not reliant on transport companies around the world. Amazon obviously has its own planes, trains, and bloody rocket ships. So, Amazon is working outside of the traditional third-party supply chain in many respects. And many of the world's largest brands are taking pages out of their books and starting to either charter private ships, private container ships, to where instead of just being consolidated sea freight in the mix with other retailers, they are chartering entire ships or buying entire ships or in the process of building entire ships, that where they can own the supply chain end to end, regardless of where it happened to may originate in the world. So it is going to be interesting to see how the supply chain evolves and changes to match what the likes of Shein are doing in the market, because they really are setting the standard in terms of speed to market, fast design, fast response to what customers want. And That is something that is very, very difficult for other people to challenge. Now, also, I want to talk about the latest podcast, which just dropped yesterday, and that is episode 95 with Amit Shah of VTEX. Now, that is, I really, really enjoyed doing that particular podcast. That was an amazing episode. I had a really, really good time with Amit. I am very closely, and I have been watching VTEX very closely for about the last 6 to 9 months. It is a enterprise-focused e-commerce platform that supports B2B, B2C, and marketplace operations, and has an inbuilt distributed order management system for omni-channel retail. So, and it's a full SaaS platform as well, a multi-tenant SaaS platform. Not an on-premise platform. So I'm a big fan of SaaS platforms, and particularly I like where they're going with their platform and trying to differentiate themselves from the likes of Adobe Commerce and from the likes of Salesforce, whereby you pretty much have to buy kind of the entire stack to get the most benefit out of those e-commerce platforms. They are going a different direction. They are focusing on standalone omni-channel commerce functionality without having all of the CDP functionality and all of the marketing cloud functionality and all of the marketing automation functionality and everything bundled in. They are focusing on commerce functionality that enterprise retailers need to be efficient with the way that they run their businesses and to give the customer a personalized customer experience on the front end of the website. So good on VTEX. Go and check out that episode. It was super enjoyable. We had about an hour together, and I think you guys will hopefully get a lot out of it and hopefully learn something new about a platform that originated in Brazil in 2000. And it's very, very popular in LATAM. They already work with Walmart and Levi's and a whole bunch of other world famous brands. And now that they went IPO, they've gone public in the United States last month. We're now seeing them flush with cash at a $3.5 billion valuation, and we are seeing them push into new markets rapidly with big sales pushes, big marketing pushes, big branding pushes, so that they can get the name recognition out there in the marketplace outside of LATAM, where they've historically been very, very strong. So thank you very much, John, for joining the live today. Thank you, Stacy, for joining the live today. Really appreciate your commentary. Very insightful and relevant. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Love it. I would normally have a few more news stories teed up to get us through to 4:30 today, but it has been a crazy busy day for me. It's actually been a crazy busy week. I've had a lot of client engagements this week that have kept me really tied up, which is fantastic. I absolutely love that, but it's just simply meant that I haven't been able to prepare as many. I would normally have 5 to 6, maybe 7 news articles teed up to talk about today, but just didn't happen. So I had 3 or 4 today. So a little bit shorter than my usual Friday sesh with you all, but thank you very much for joining me today. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody, and put it in your calendars. Every single Friday, 4 p.m. New Zealand time, 2 p.m. Aussie time, I'm here with At the Coalface Live, bringing you the latest in e-commerce news and happenings. So have a fantastic weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week, guys. Cheers. Bye.